Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home.
Today we are going to continue our experiment to see just how long a Penguin Cygnus Petrol lighter will stay fueled before either evaporating out or using all of its fuel. This is actually our second attempt at this. We had a couple of days during our first attempt when we were not able to record an update, which included the Sunday, which was between the third and fifth days after this lighter was fueled. So not much to it. You guys have seen this lighter so many times before, and you've seen me fuel it now. You've seen me fuel it a couple of times, but you've seen me test it. This would be about the fourth or fifth time. We just fueled it yesterday, so I don't really see any problem. It should light right up. Last time it stayed fueled for 3 days, but whether or not it was still fueled on that fourth day, we are ignorant of because we don't work on Sunday. So there was no video update recorded that day. So today is Tuesday. We filled it up on Monday. Still have several days before Sunday gets here. And I imagine that it will probably run out before then. But we will keep recording updates each day just to let you know. And as you can see, lighting right up still on the second day. See you guys tomorrow.
Alright, so we're going to have a little bit of a detour here because while I was working on some other lighters yesterday, I had set this lighter down beside me and not really thinking about it, had laid it down on its side. And when I picked it up, that reminded me of a phenomenon that I had witnessed really for the first time here in the last couple of weeks, maybe the last month. I haven't ever really been in the habit of fueling up a bunch of lighters at one time. I just kind of fueled them as I needed them for videos, and at other times was fueling up the lighters that I was using and putting them in my pocket. Well, here a while back I did exactly that. I fueled up a bunch of lighters to get ready for some videos the next day so that those lighters would not be exhibiting vapor lock as soon as I needed them to light. The next morning I noticed that several of them had fallen over on their side, and the ones that had fallen over onto their side, when you picked the lighter up, there was what appeared to be a small pool of fuel underneath them, which you can see right there. And I wasn't really certain, and I didn't test it at that time, but this is what I was thinking when I laid this lighter down inside this tray yesterday afternoon, was to swab up whatever was underneath there, because it hit me that it could just be sweat or condensation of some sort, maybe not necessarily actually fuel. But we'll see here when we light this Cygnus up and then attempt to light that wick that it lights up just like fuel. So I believe that we are losing fuel out the top of that chimney by laying the lighter on its side. Maybe not every single lighter is prone to that, but I've seen that phenomenon in many petrol lighters here recently, not just the Cygnus. Back to this lighter igniting, it lit right up when we needed it to test that wick that we had sopped up that fuel with. And now it is looking like it is dry fuel. Again, we haven't opened it, haven't even opened the snuffer other than to attempt to ignite the lighter. So now we finally get it to light. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. All right, we filled this lighter up on Monday. We tested it on Tuesday.
We tested it again on Wednesday, which was yesterday. Today's Thursday. But before we tested it yesterday, I showed you guys a little dynamic that I had discovered here recently, where when you lay one of these lighters down on its side, it will leak fluid out of the top of it onto the container or surface below. So this lighter did fire up yesterday after several times that it would not. So I have my doubts whether or not we are going to see a flame out of this lighter when we strike it. I have not opened the fuel screw in this lighter since filling it up. I have only lifted the snuffer in order to strike and attempt to ignite the lighter. So we haven't gone through a bunch of unnecessary opening and closing whereby fuel could evaporate out of the lighter more easily. But as I mentioned a while ago in yesterday's portion of this video, you can see that right underneath this portion of the lighter, right underneath that wick, there was a little pool of fuel that had gathered there, and we sopped it up with a wick and lit it just to make certain that that wasn't some kind of other condensation or sweat. There's no real temperature to the lighter, so I couldn't imagine that it would have sweat, but that was a phenomenon that I discovered here sometime in the last 2 or 3 months as I would be filling up several lighters to get them ready to make videos the next day. And I came back in one morning and several of them had fallen over in the little plastic tray that they were in. And of course, underneath those that were laying on their side was a little pool of fuel. So I do not have great hopes that this lighter is going to ignite, but we shall see. So it finally did ignite on us yesterday, but it looked to be waning a bit. So I am afraid that laying that lighter over on its side to demonstrate to you guys, the audience, how that would leak the fuel out the top has caused us to have even a shorter life of fuel in this lighter than we would have. We will fuel this up again, and this time we will keep it setting upright. I'll set it on the shelf over here where it can't get knocked over, and I'm certainly not going to lay it on its side on purpose like I did last time. So let's go about thoroughly filling this lighter with fuel right quick. And you can see that it is a little bit sloppy with fuel in there. And there's also fuel dripping out onto my hand. So looks like that is all absorbed as room was made as more of it fell out the top of the wick here. You can see. So we definitely have it full. And that is our goal. So I will make certain, set this on the shelf over here and keep it upright. Today is Thursday, so I will make an update on this Last week we filled up on Wednesday, and it would not light on Monday, but we are filling up on Thursday today. We will do an update on Friday and Saturday, which would be days 2 and 3. Day 4, well, maybe getting my days confused here. We'll get all that figured out as we get there. But I think this will put us a day ahead of schedule to where hopefully it does not run out over the gap between Saturday and Monday, which would be Sunday, because we do not work on Sunday, the Lord's Day. So we have a freshly fueled Penguin Cygnus Petrol lighter again. We'll see just how long it will last. I need to bloom that wick out a little. Looks like it's charred up. Might give us a better chance of ignition. While we are here, let's go ahead and pull that wick up a little bit. And bloom out the top of it. Maybe we will get a little bit better opportunity for ignition. Although our main opponent to ignition right at the moment is the vapor lock from overfueling the lighter. That will dry out shortly, but no reason for you guys to sit around here and watch that. So we will see you tomorrow, although it will be in a different video, so you may not see it the next day. Until next time.